ठेवून असते काय करायचं नसतं.
हां, सॉरी. विसरूनच गेलो म्हणजे 2 तास झाले हो. घर हां, हां, हां. ओके. हां. हां, सॅटर्डे संडेच असतं. हां, हां. ते ट्यूसडेला आहे. हां. हं, हं. हं, हं. हं, हं. हं, हं. हं, हं. ओके. हं, हं. हं, हं. हं, 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 हं. अरे बापरे! हां, हां. हो, हो. खरं आहे. हं. ओके. हं, हं. हं, हं. ओके. हो, हो. हं, हं. हो, हो. हं. हं, हं, हं. हं, हं, हं. हं, हं. हं, हं, हं. हं, हं. हां, हां, हां. हो, हो. हं, हं, हं. ओके. हं, हं. हं, हं, हं. हो, हो, हो. हं. ओ ओके. हो, हो. मोठं झाड. हां, हां. हां, हां. हं, हं, हं. ओके. हां. तसं ते हां. पण अर्थात हे हां. पण हे पण हे फक्त मिलेट ओके. हं, हं, हं. हो. राजस्थान. हं, हं. हां, पण ही लोकं कसलेली आहेत? त्यांनी सगळंच घेतलं. हं. हां. हं, हं. हं. हां, पण ते हं, हं, हं. हां, आय थिंक हे महत्वाचं आहे सांगणं. हं. हं, हं. हं, हं. हं, हं. नाही तर हं. हं, हं. ओके. हां. हं, हं, हं. हो, एकाच सेकंड. हां. हां, एक दिसलं बट हां. हां. हां, हां. हां, मग उद्या रात्रीपर्यंत पाठवून एकदा फोन करतो शक्य झालं तर. म्हणजे काय डाउट्स वगैरे असतील. हां, हां. हो. पण ह्या पण ह्या मेलमध्ये फक्त पहिल्या सॉरी सेकंड फिल्मबद्दलच पॉइंट्स ॲड करायचे आहेत ना? पहिल्याच नाही. हां, 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 हां. हां, पण हो आणि त्याचे इश्यूज वेगळे आहेत. हो, कारण ते पूर्ण हेच आहे. म्हणजे त्याच्यावरच अवलंबून आहे. म्हणजे आता पण नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट. हो, 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 हां, हो. हं. हं, हं, हं. हां, 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 हां. हे आज पाठवलं तर मी हे उद्या संध्याकाळपर्यंत पाठवतो आणि मग तुम्ही ते पाठवा. कारण ते सुद्धा म्हणजे भले ते 1 दिवसानंतर जरी पाठवलं तरी त्याचे पण मी इश्यू इतर सुद्धा आहेत ना, म्हणजे काय बाकी आहे आणि ते कसं करायचं आणि पुन्हा काय-काय डिफिकल्टीज होत्या. की मी जाणार आहे. हं, 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 हं. ते तू सध्या रिमाइंड नको करू. हे मेल पाठवल्यानंतर मग तू रिमाइंड कर. हं, 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 हं. पानावगैरे बरोबर आहेत, पण ते डिसिजन त्या शेतकऱ्यांनी घ्यायला हवं ना, की आता अशी पानं आहेत, एका आठवड्यानंतर काढू किंवा जे काय असेल ते 10 दिवसांनी काढू. पण ह्यांनी सतत विचारायला हवं, त्यांनीच ते टेंटेटिव्ह सांगता येईल, कारण त्यात थोडं अगदी फिक्स नाही, 2 दिवस आधी मागे झाले ते क्लिअरली सांगायला हवं ना त्यांनी. आणि ह्यांनी पण विचारायला हवं. हां हां चालेल. हां ठीक आहे. हां हे पाठवून हो या.
Hello, shall we start?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
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 ma'am.
so I was explaining the example of Vyabhichari Bhava. So this was the one example where Vrida, that is Lajja, can be seen in Kumara Sambhava. Now, uh, considering this example, here in this particular scene, Shiva is not there, but it is a part of actually a Mahakavya, that is a long poem where there is a description, or we can say Shungara Rasa is delineated. Both Sambhoga and Vipralambha we can see in phases. But definitely it gets heightened at Sambhoga Shungara particularly, as Parvati's Lajja is very well suggested by Kalidasa, and here that Vyabhichari Bhava is there. So such transitory emotions add to the particular rasa. They add to the beauty. It is not that it is going to harm if it is absent, but yes, it has to be there. So it will nourish the rasa and will give that rasa experience to the full extent. So Bharata Muni has identified such 33 Vyabhichari bhavas we can see. Okay, and you may correlate it with any other example as well to understand the concept of Vyabhichari. Do you want to take any example? So here I have given one example again from Abhijnana Shakuntalam, and but you can analyze based on Raja Ravi Verma's painting where Shakuntala is with her friend. So here you can see the Ashraya Lambana as Shakuntala, because now the scene is after, Dushyanta has gone to his kingdom after his marriage with her, and this is immediately we can say followed by that this scene is, and you can see that she is writing a letter on the leaf. Then you can mark the ahari also here, that is dressing style, a peculiar dressing style, her physical gestures. You can't see, of course, you can't have dialogues because this is a painting. But in actual drama, there will be definitely dialogues. Her hairs are loose, So all these point out that she is in separation. Okay, means this is a love in separation. So that is Vipralamba Shrungara. So here Ashrayalambana is Shakuntala. Why this Shrungara takes place basically? Subject or object is Dushyanta. Now Uddipana is here is what is the cause of this particular state? That is Dusyanta's departure from ashrama immediately after marriage. Then Anubhava means we have seen four types of Anubhavas: Sattvika, Aharya, Kaika, and Vachika. So you can see here various Anubhavas that she is writing a letter which suggests that because she wants to get engaged in some activity because she is not able to cope up with that situation. She is having again and again those sweet memories of the marriage and the meeting of Dushyanta. Seeing in the sky means she's thinking about Dushyanta, maybe what to write. Though she is writing, or she has inclination to write, she is not able to decide what to write. Her loose hair, again, this has connotation because in according to the Sanskrit Natya Shastra norms and in Sanskrit literature also we can see the Virahini, one who is in separation, is supposed to keep her hair loose. Means she is not into much embellishment, decoration, and ornamentation. So naturally, her hairs are loose. You can see the garland in her dressing style. So that indicates that maybe they have just got married to show that Raja Ravi Verma has used this as Anubhava. Okay. Then you can see that Mangal Sutra is also shown as here. Again, Raja Ravi Verma wants to show that this is a scene after her marriage. Again, Vyabhicharis are suggested here. Vyabhichari Bhavas, transitory emotion. Because she is facing a little bit on the sky, you can see Chinta, Dainya. Chinta, she maybe is worrying what will happen to me, whether we will meet or not. Dainya means there is a kind of pity. Smruti, memory is there. There are many memories rather flashing before her eyes. Vitarka, many doubts, many probabilities maybe she is thinking of. You can see again Uddipana is there. Means Dushanta's departure is very important point here because for her such a condition or Vipralamba Shungara. But even you can see the background. It is actually the background of hermitage where there are trees, the river flowing, etc., which definitely is a serene atmosphere, which was suitable first of all for their love, romance to develop. And now that is the same background is adding to her what we can say pain of separation. So that Uddipana is again very important. So this is how we can analyze, even if it is a painting. So here Rati is the Sthai Bhava, which gets nourished by Vibhava, Anubhava, and Vyabhichari. And then we can say that this is Vipralambha Shringara. Are you understanding? Or any points if you want to add, you can tell me here. Or any other example you if you want to discuss, that is also fine.
Ma'am, why Rati is Taibao in this example?
Yeah, because see, we had seen the concept of Sthai Bhavas.
Yeah.
That Sthai Bhavas are connected with the particular rasa. Okay. It is the love emotion, basic emotion, which what is the basic emotion which is underlying, and that can give rise to this eroticism. That is love. That is Rati.
Okay. Yeah.
If Rati is gets a proper, we can say, nourishment, then it will develop into we get develop into Shrungara Rasa. Are you getting the point, or any other doubt related to this? Or
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
okay. See, another thing you need to understand here is rasa is experienced only in kavya, drama, or art. Okay, it is not in what we can say the real world or day-to-day life. We experience emotions, but not rasa. Are you getting my point?
Ma'am, can you give an example, ma'am?
Yes, yes, sure. See, for example, in our life, we experience different emotions. Sometimes we may experience love, laughter, grief, anger, etc., etc. But when we experience those emotions, we get affected by that because there is a karana karya bhava, cause and effect relationship. So naturally, if there is anger, I will definitely get angry, and I have to face the consequences of that. If there is bhaya, yes, I have to face the consequences of that. So there is a karana karya bhava, cause and effect relationship. We get affected by these emotions. But what about rasa? Rasa is, as I said in the beginning, the meaning of rasa is aesthetic pleasure. So it is a bliss. Rasa means bliss. So it may be any rasa. It may be Shrungara. It may be Hasya. It may be Karuna. It may be Raudra, Veera, Bhayanak, or any rasa. The main, thing which you get out of this rasa is bliss. The output is bliss. Sadhya Paranirruti, it is told by Mammata in Kavya Prakash. Paranirruti means immediate satisfaction. What you get through Kavya is immediate satisfaction, immediate bliss. Because there are many motives to write, poetry or something or any art. There can be multiple motives to, to give some message, to express oneself, to, or, it may have didactic motive. But what is the most important purpose is to give immediate bliss and to get immediate bliss. So it is not that you read poetry now or you see movie now and you get bliss later. Immediate bliss definitely you will get, and the output or the final product, what we can say is of all these rasas is bliss. But in real life it is not so. Even if you see, for example, let us just imagine a situation. You see your friend in love with someone. Okay, you see this situation in real life. What emotions will be there in your mind? Can you tell me?
Happiness.
Yeah, Harshan, are you saying something?
Yeah, happiness.
Hello.
Yeah, could be happiness.
Happiness, you are saying.
Yeah.
Are you saying happiness? Okay. So, is it the only feeling you will get? Anyone else? What other feelings?
Uncertainty, scared,
Uh huh. What?
uncertainty, scared,
Yeah,
doubt.
scared. Correct. You may feel that, oh, what will happen to that person? Why he is falling in love with such person? That may be the thing. Some person may feel jealousy also, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is possible. So many different feelings will arise when you see a friend in love with someone. Okay. But when you see it on the screen in drama or you read it in the novel, it doesn't happen so. Why? Because that feeling is not a personal. Correct. Yeah, means you may have different points, like friends will not have time for me in future or something like that. Many different feelings it will give rise to when it is in real life. But when it is in poetic world or the world of art, it is not so. There is no jealousy, there is nothing. Why? Because that emotion come to you in very generalized manner. There is no feeling of jealousy, there is no feeling of kind of competition or anything.
We are detached, no, ma'am. We are detached from that.
Exactly. So you enjoy that, isn't it? You enjoy that. You see a romance on the screen, you enjoy that. Similarly, another now example I'll give you. Even if it is a tragedy, suppose tragedy happens in our life, of course we get affected. We are in a grief. So that situation is not enjoyable. But when you see the tragedy on the screen, read a novel which is, full of pathos. Yeah, you will empathize, you may cry also sometimes, but at the end when you will finish that, you will think, oh, what a novel, what a movie it was. Excellent tragedy, you will say. Means you have even enjoyed that tragedy, Karuna Rasa. Similarly, you see horror movie. Okay, in suppose in real life you see some scary thing, you will get terrified. You may not sleep for 2 to 3 days or maybe some more also. But you see horror movie and you say, "Oh, what a horror! I was totally terrified." Means you enjoy it. So rasa is possible. Rasa experience is possible
Hello.
in artistic world, in poetic world, not in real life, because rasa is delineated through the world, which is kind of, we can say, recreated or created in the
ॲक्च्युली एका
art,
लेक्चरमध्ये
in the
संपवायला लागेल
poetry. Are you getting the point?
हां हां चालेल सेकंड ना
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you see the dance, you see, or you listen to the music, you enjoy all these rasas. But these emotions are not pleasurable always in real life or day to day life. Therefore, we need this kind of poetic world or poetry or art to relish the rasa, and that relishing gives us utmost satisfaction. So we will understand this point more when we will see actual theories. If you have understood this framework of Rasa Sutra, then we can further move towards those theories. So are you clear with the Rasa Sutra? Any other example you want to discuss, that how this Vibhavas, Anubhava and Vyabhichari lead to Rasa? Anyone wants to take any example and discuss? Then we will discuss that and then go ahead. Because what I will advise to you is to take some example from any movie or movie. I'm saying because almost all watch it. You take a particular scene and analyze what is Ashraya what is Vishaya what is Uddipana, and then conclude that therefore this is the rasa. Or sometimes you may get that there are no proper anubhavas or proper vyabhicharis, then that rasa will not get delineated. Means that rasa is not nourished in that case. Means though there are sthai bhavas is present, though there are vibhavas, anubhavas present, the rasa is not properly nourished. We will be able to say that.
Ma'am, in Ramayana, this sentence is there, Prishati Vaguramiva.
So
Yeah.
she was scared and she was shy. She was feeling shy to wear how to wear that Valkala before going to Vanavasa.
Correct.
But the reader will have that Karuna Rasa.
Hmm.
So
Hello.
can
Yes.
we discuss that part?
Yeah, but can you describe the end means who? So, are you able to analyze there what is Ashraya Lambana? In whom you can see the manifestation of rasa?
Uh, Here, Sita, she is she has she has that feeling of shyness because she doesn't know how to wear that dress.
Okay. Okay.
Means yeah.
But here, Karuna Rasa doesn't seem to be properly nourished. There is just a tinge,
Ah,
correct? Because if
okay.
properly delineated, then it will have more details. Means it is just giving a tinge to the readers that oh, such thing is going to happen in the future.
Uh, no, because
Hmm.
all the women of the harem or Antahpura, they were all crying. Even
Okay.
Dasharatha feels very sad because she was the queen Janaki and she had to wear the Narumadi or the Valkala before going to the Vanavasa with Rama. So that Karuna Rasa is definitely very much
Okay. Means
established.
you are
That's what.
describing that actual scene, not just she was feeling shy.
Uh-huh. So the sentence is Prushati Vaguramiva. She was scared like she has seen the net when the deer sees the net. Like that, she
Ah,
was scared when she saw that dress, and she was trying to wear that, unable to wear how to wear, and she was asking the help of Rama also to help her how to wear that. So in this context, I wanted to understand what is alambana or vishaya
so
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
those
So
things.
as you have described all those elements that they were crying, etc. So what you will call it as? Now we have seen alambana, uddipana. So what you will call it as?
Hmm.
See, Sita will be definitely Ashraya Lambana, correct? Because you are seeing the manifestation of that rasa in her.
Ma'am, Vishayalambana should be always a living being.
Mostly that is a character.
Okay. Because here that
But
Valkala
here it is
Vastra also can be Vishayalambana, no? But it is not a living thing.
Yes, yes. So that actually means what do you think? If you understand the situation fully, why it is actually she has to wear one color and all? Because she wants to accompany the Ram in Vanvas, isn't it? So Rama might
correct.
be the Vishayalambana because if she doesn't have that kind of relation with Ram, then actually this point is even not existing there. Means because she is not asked to go to the Vanvas.
Correct.
So her relation with Ram, with her husband, that has created, this particular situation. So here Rama will be Vishayalamban, and all these things actually will come in Uddipana basically. That Vanavasa, or that Kaikeyi's boon which gets activated now, that he should go to Vanavasa, or even Means
Even the dress, no, ma'am. Even the dress which she has to wear now.
exactly. That means that color means she has to now wear the color, and she has to abandon all the, what we can say, the royal ornaments, etc. Okay. And the situation which you described, that all the ladies in Antapura are crying, etc., that will come in what? Anubhava. We have seen Anubhavas, right? That can be Kaika, Vachika, Aharya, and Satvika, etc. So that Ashta Satvika Bhava will come. Tears, Ashru, we have seen. Maybe there is Vaivaranya also. So it depends on how it is described in that situation. So you need to check that situation and all those details. Whether it is described there, their faces were pale, then it will come in Ashta Satvika Bhava. If their dressing style is mentioned, that will come in Aharya. So suppose those Antapura ladies are very well ornamented and Sita has to wear Valkala, that then it will add contrast also. That on the background that all the ladies are wearing all, ornaments, and now she has to abandon this and wear the Valkala. How tragic it will be. Then Vachika Anubhava, what are their dialogues? You just describe that Upama, and how the deer gets afraid to the net, etc. So that maybe, if some dialogues are there, that she is telling to Ram that please help me, etc., that will come in the Vachik dialogue, that is nourishing that particular rasa. Are you understanding? So how to analyze? You have to go through the details for that. Just taking that, picking the situation will not help, but you have to understand all the details of any scene, any movie, drama, or whatever it may be. Then you can analyze. Vyabhichari bhavas are many in that situation. There will be chinta, dainya. Dainya is like, this how pitiable that situation is. Dainya is there. Then Vrida is there. There is what Chapalata also. She is not able to decide what to do now, how to wear this. So many Vyabhicharis you will find which are nourishing that particular rasa. So this is up. So you need to get the details from that particular scene. If it is a literary piece, you will find that described in words. If that is a visual scene, in visual you will find. Okay. So from those details you will get this Vibhavas, Anubhavas, and Vyabhichari. And if they are all present in proper manner, proper proportion, then only rasa experience is possible. Otherwise, it will be just a tinge of that, just a suggestion, just what we can say, a shade of that, not fully delineated, fully nourished, we have to say. Are you getting any other example you want to discuss?
Ma'am, how will we know the proper proportion?
Ah, Harshit.
Yeah, how will we know the proper proportion of the vibhavas and other criteria?
Proper proportion.
Yeah,
How do we know?
yeah.
Of course, it can't be defined in case like
Yeah,
some mathematical proportion as such. Okay, but yes, you feel it right when it comes to you because it is rasa swada.
yeah,
Therefore, when you learn theories, you will understand it more that how why the concept of aswada is there, because it is not the experience. In experience, yes, we take in real life that experience is there, and by experience we get affected. So it is not experience, it is aswada, it is relish, it is relishing the thing. So it is like, again, Bharata has given that example also of shadrasaha. You taste a particular dish, okay, a food is prepared, and in that food, you tasted it. Oh, wow! You say, what a taste. So when you say that, wow, there are many ingredients involved in that particular dish, making of that. But all those ingredients are what we can say properly mixed, in the sense that they are not giving any individual taste, but the taste of that particular dish. So in that, how that is prepared definitely matters. Similarly, it here how that is composed definitely matters. So that is the rasa process. So in the preparation of dish also, you will see many things. There is certain order, which is followed. Like processing is there. So each processing will give different taste of the dish. So it is like that. Means the end that result is again very important. Umaji,
This
are
is
you?
subjective, ma'am.
Huh?
This is subjective, This is subjective, isn't it? Whatever I relish may not be relished by somebody else also. Maybe I feel it is nice if there is a tinge of sourness. Somebody may feel it is good if it is little sweeter, isn't it? It is not objective, it is subjective.
See, again, what I can say is, yeah, to certain extent, yes, but like, see, how you will correlate to the rasa? It is not that rasa is there and all will experience the same. In that sense, yes, it is subjective. Because, see, tragedy will not be appreciated by all. You say that I don't like
Exactly.
tragedy, correct? I don't watch that. I don't like that. Or some people may say that I like horror movies, but some will say that I don't like horror movies. So in that manner, yes, it is a matter of taste. So it is not that all movies or all books are appreciated by all. So we say na it is meant for certain class or something like that. Because another thing is here is that, hey, we say that poet needs a training, artist needs a training. Okay, some kind of training they go through, and then they compose that art and there is a manifestation, etc. Similarly, in the entire tradition of Kavya Shastra or Natya Shastra, training for the connoisseur is also identified. It is not
Yeah.
that everybody can appreciate the art. So now you are doing aesthetics course. Why it is needed? You can't expect that any art is there and all must appreciate that. No. So training is defined for both. That shiksha means that kind of education is needed for both, for the poet, for the artist, as well as connoisseur. Again, there is another factor which is identified, which is pratibha. We always call it as creative genius, because all people cannot make art, all people cannot compose poetry. It cannot be a compulsion at all. It comes with that pratibha, creative genius. So pratibha we understand only in case of poet or artist. But it is said that pratibha is of two kinds, karaitri and bhavaitri. One which creates the art and another which appreciates the art. Even connoisseurs should have some sense of that genius in order to understand the art. It is not possible that all will understand it. Okay. So Rajashekhar in Kavya Mimamsa has given the qualifications of connoisseur as well. Even Abhinava Gupta gives that. We will do that to some extent. But Rajashekhar in later period says what are the qualities of connoisseur. He should not be like a stone, he clearly says. Means you should have that sympathetic, attitude and a kind of sensitivity and basically you should have that knowledge also, some kind of, to understand and to appreciate the beauty. So in that sense, yes, your statement is right that everybody cannot appreciate or cannot be into that rasa experience also. Everybody will not experience that rasa, will not appreciate that rasa, will not may not have that aesthetic delight. Some will just end with appreciating certain elements of that art. Suppose you watch a same movie, okay, some will just appreciate actors, actress, the background, the songs, film, music, dialogues, but all will not be transported to the rasa experience or that pleasure, which is the end result actually of that particular art. Therefore, in a way, that is subjective, but it is actually objective in the sense that when you are transported to rasa experience, so it may be either hasya, it may be karuna, it may be shrungara, or you are also taking that rasa pleasure, means aesthetic pleasure, and others are also taking that sense of pleasure or sense of satisfaction. It's same. You say, oh, simply marvelous. This you don't have words to describe. You say, no, I can't describe it, but I have to say that beautiful. Why? Because that is the sense of satisfaction, means culmination of the bliss you have reached, and you can't describe anything. Later on, you can describe the merits of that art, but you can't describe that bliss which you have incurred through that art. Are you getting my point? We are going to discuss this in more details when we see.
Yes, ma'am. I got it, ma'am. I got it clearly. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Any other point you want to discuss?
Ma'am, one basic doubt.
Yeah.
If there is any painting or a song which is beautifully describing the nature, there is no narrative or anything, but still,
Means?
yeah, a drawing of a nature. I mean, a painting which is showing the beauty of the nature, or a
Right.
song which is describing the nature very well. We really like such songs also. We get pleasure out of that also, but it doesn't fit under any of these rasa category, right? But still, it's a pleasure.
May not be. Again, so, see, as I said, you can't take general example. You have to give particular example. So that may create shantarasa also. You may have the feeling of peace. You get detached from every worldly things, and that you go into that relaxed meditative mood. So it may have the shantarasa also, no?
Yeah.
Isn't it? So it depends again how it is there, means how it is portrayed. Basically, depends on that. So it is possible that it give the Shantarasa, because Shantarasa has the Sthayi Bhava called Nirveda. Okay, I'll come to that slide. Yeah. So Nirveda means detachment, and this detachment kind of like detachment from worldly things, and therefore you feel at peace.
Mm.
So
Right.
it is possible. So suppose it is the painting of suppose Buddha, or painting of any deity, then that also can give rise to Shantarasa. Therefore, I think somebody has raised the doubt about that how all things will fit into the framework of this. So even the any description about the god or deity can give to this Shantarasa, basically can lead to the Shantarasa,
But
because
some say even bhakti is the rasa, right?
yeah, but that was identified later. If you want to fit in this framework, bhakti was identified later by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, because there is lot of not only just detachment, but lot of pravrutti in that you praise the deity, you dance for the deity, or like that, means you do various kinds of services for the deity. And so he proved that bhakti also can be considered as rasa. But if you just consider this framework, then it can be in Shantarasa also, or it will be just uh, rati, the love emotion, but not erotic, because it is not erotic emotion. It is just the love for the deity. So that is called as bhavadvani.
Isn't it that any kind of pleasure leads to Shanta, I mean, peaceful mind at the end of the day?
Any kind of pleasure
Yeah.
means
I
what
mean,
you
after watching a good movie, I mean, though it has Shungara Rasa or, I mean, if we have really enjoyed it, it will give Shanta Bhava only in the end, right? I mean, we'll be satisfied. Is that not Shanta? I mean,
no, because see, it is actually a kind of satisfaction, but Shanta should have sthayi as detachment, that is Vairagya. Shanta will not come until and unless there is a sense of Vairagya. But yes, in a way it is true because some kind of detachment is necessary in other eight rasas also. And that might be the reason that ninth rasa was not first of all identified. Okay, it was identified later because he might not have felt the necessity of that because it again leads to how that rasa is interpreted. What is rasa means how you because see there are many factors which are still unanswered. We have understood alambana means ashrayalambana, vishayalambana, that is alambana. Then we this vibhava, uddipana, and anubhava, etc. But there are certain questions which are unanswered in Rasa Sutra. That who enjoys this rasa basically? That is not answered in Rasa Sutra. With whose reference we are talking basically? Are those characters are enjoying this? Or Kanozer is enjoying? All are enjoying.
Kanozer, right?
Yeah, but all these factors need to be answered because then what is the role of characters? Are they just neutral? So many questions it has raised basically. Then this rasa means as you said it we feel shanta means exactly what is that feeling, that is also discussed by later commentators. And there comes actually the philosophical understanding means that is how rasa gets connected with the bliss of ultimate reality. Means it we have seen or we have what we can say through certain experiences of artists that through their art they get connected to the divine or ultimate, isn't it? So how is it possible? Yeah, so art was considered as very close to divinity. Why it is so? So means those okay, in case of artist it is possible, then is it possible in case of Kanozer as well? Yeah, maybe sometimes. So all these questions are really open because Rasa Sutra being very brief, because it is a sutra, it is aphorism, so it is a very brief expression. So in that expression all these things are not clear, so later commentators have tried to understand that Rasa Sutra in their own way, and therefore we have rasa interpretations, and so we have different theories about rasa. Okay, so your question is definitely very important in that sense. What is that feeling which we get after experience of rasa?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, any other question or any example if you want to discuss, we can do, because after this I want to do theories, and maybe I can do some background if you don't have any questions, and I will start with the theories in next lecture. Anything to discuss? No? But you take any example afterwards and try to analyze accordingly. Then only you will get some understanding of this framework. Okay? So I will just give some background of those theories then. So we are going to discuss 4 theories of rasa interpretation, and these 4 theories are actually reflected in the commentator Abhinava Gupta, because Abhinava Gupta has written commentary on Bharata's Natya Shastra. Let me share the presentation for that. So this Rasa Sutra, as I said, has given actually have raised many questions. We have seen Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari, Sanyoga, Rasa Nishpatti. So what is the meaning of Sanyoga? What kind of union is this? Because union can be of many ways. Just two things coming together, or proper mixture of those two things. What exactly? Then Nishpatti has created many issues. What is this Nishpatti? Is it production? Is it creation? Or is it just manifestation? Like that. Then what is the location of rasa? See, because we have seen that Ashraya Lambana means where the rasa can be seen. But actually, where is the location of rasa? In whom we can see the rasa which is delineated? Who experiences the rasa? What is the role of sthai? Whose sthai gets triggered when the rasa is enjoyed? The sthai of the character, sthai of actors, or sthai of the connoisseur. Exactly what happens. So, what is the role of each of them? The characters, actors, and the connoisseur. That needs to be understood with respect to this Rasa Sutra. So, commentators have clarified those. Okay. So, we get 4 Rasa interpretations: Bhatta Lollata, Bhatta Shankuka, Bhatta Nayaka, and Abhinava Gupta. Okay, different rasa interpretations are there. Actually, we get all these viewpoints in Abhinava Gupta's commentary. Abhinava Gupta has written commentary on this Natya Shastra and on this Rasa Sutra particularly. So, while doing that, while giving his own opinion, what he has done is he has discussed predecessors' views. So he discusses the views of Bhatta Lollata, Shankuka, and Bhatta Nayaka as well. And then he is synthesizing, all the opinions. He's giving his own viewpoint. So we get to know about Bhatta Lollata, Shankuka, and Bhatta Nayaka from the commentary of Abhinava Gupta. So he has used the method of Khandana Mandana here. He refutes the view of Bhatta Lollata, Shankuka, Bhatta Nayaka, and then he puts his own perspective. So in original, we don't have the viewpoints expressed by Bhatta Lollata, Shankuka, or Bhattanayaka. We don't have their original writings available to us. It is from the quotation of Abhinava Gupta we get. It is from the commentary of Abhinava Gupta we get to know that. But they are very important, because without understanding those, or without having those, Abhinava Gupta may have not led towards the Abhivyaktivada, which is the perspective of rasa, which is considered, even though, even today, Abhinav Gupta's rasa interpretation is considered as very much authoritative. So he has used that method of synthesis. He has combined, and he has pointed out the lacunas in each viewpoint, and then cited the holistic understanding of the Rasa Siddhanta. And here is the Abhinava Gupta, who considers Rasa as Brahmasvada Sahodara. Means it is very similar to the Brahmasvada, he says, similar to the bliss which is incurred by knowing the ultimate reality. So to that level, he has kept a rasa. So it is a rasa which can give you the glimpse of Brahmasvada, of knowing that ultimate reality of Brahman. Means of course that Brahmasvada or Brahmananda is only possible for the yogis or the devotees, we can say, but one can definitely get the glimpse to this rasa. That's what Abhinav Gupta says. But how this rasa then, one is supposed to experience, or when one experiences, all this gets step by step explained by Utpattivada, Anumitivada, Bhuktivada. So the Utpatti, Anumiti, and Bhukti are different perspectives of this rasa theory, rasa interpretations, we can say. So we will see one by one all these theories in next class. Okay, these four theories we have to see. So I think I will stop here, because if you have anything to discuss, we can definitely discuss. And what I will advise you to apply that Rasa Sutra to any kind of art which you can think, or movie, to get the clarity. Because while doing again Rasa interpretations, it is very much necessary that you are very much thorough with this concept, Vibhavas, Anubhavas, and Vyabhicharis. If you are forgetting that, it will not be possible to understand all these theories. You will
But
not be
ma'am, we won't be very sure of what we have interpreted. Maybe we will take a scene and we will analyze, but then
So you
it may
can
not
take
be correct.
example now. You can take example, that's why now, so that I can um, guide you to go towards the right direction. Why don't you take example now?
No,
Which
ma'am, right now nothing is occurring. Later, maybe
any
certain things
movie,
will
any
occur.
famous movie which might be seen by all, like that you can take example.
Movies don't occur to me.
Okay.
Maybe from Kavya part only I can think. But see, suppose some 6, 7 examples if I take, and then if I analyze, then I'm not very sure that what interpretation I do is correct or not.
Okay, then in
Like
the
that.
beginning we can discuss that if you have done anything. We
Okay,
can discuss
okay,
and
ma'am.
go ahead. See, because normally if we take such example which is of, there must be something common in. I think 10 participants are there. It is not that all are. It is not, na. Means something
Yeah,
must be
yeah,
common which can be
yeah.
discussed. Like generally, students discuss about the Sholay movie. Generally, it is watched by all. So you can take
Okay.
that example also. Any scene from the Sholay movie. So if you take the Sholay movie, what is the rasa? Have you seen that Sholay movie?
Yeah.
So very good. So I expect that maybe it is seen by all. So if you see the Sholay movie, what are the rasas you see in that movie? Can you tell me the rasa?
Raudra is definitely there.
Okay.
Hasya is also there.
Hasya. Okay.
Karun.
Dharmendra stands on the water tank and shouts for that Maushi, no?
Correct. If you take that scene, then which rasa will be there? Hasya, right? Then Hasya, who will be the Ashraya Lambana of Hasya?
Dharmendra.
Maushi?
Amita.
Why?
Maushi is the Vishaya Lambana.
Correct. He himself is the Ashraya Lamban because he is talking weird and all, na? Correct. And then all his dialogues will come there as a power. He's acting, no? How he is acting, he's just keeping that one leg. Now he will jump, etc. All this will come in Anubhava. Uddipana. What will be the Uddipana?
Amitabh's dialogue.
Okay, what is that?
Um,
Uddipana is the height he has climbed, and then
Yes.
there's a background, no, ma'am. Uddipana is the background.
Yeah, background or any reason also.
Okay.
Reason also it can come.
Reason that marriage is denied is the Uddipana.
Correct. That will be Uddipana. Correct.
Wouldn't that be power?
He was drunk. Is
Yeah.
the Uddipana?
Yes, correct. If he would not have been drunk, then he would not have acted like that. That is very important.
Ma'am, I have a confusion. So, if we look at just Vibhava, the cause, the Karan, the Nimitta,
Yeah.
that would be being drunk, right? The cause of that whole sequence, the setting is.
Character, as I have told you, Vibhava is of two types, Ashraya Lamban and Vishaya Lamban. So that is
Okay.
the main character. If there is no character as such, where those emotions will reside.
Okay, so the Vibhava as singular is nothing but where the rasa resides.
Exactly.
Due to whom?
Correct.
Okay,
In
got
whom and due to whom.
Okay, got
Uddipana are the other factors. So like he is drunk, that factor will come. That tank is very heighted, that a factor also may come. So the whole, even the people which are gathered, there were no people, then no hasya rasa will, means that hasya rasa will not be effective, na? If people are not there.
Just the setting.
Ah,
Everything related to the setting.
correct. Anubhava, all his body language, dialogues, people's reactions will come in Anubhava. In Vyabhichari, many things will come.
So we cannot look at Vibhava without looking at Ashayalamban or Vishayalamban.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you need to analyze that particular scene for Hasya Rasa. Now, in the beginning, when I asked what is the rasa in Sholay, some said Veera also, some said Raudra also. Yes, all these rasas are there. And rasas are all, means we can see many rasas in one art also. But what is the pradhana rasa? What is the primary rasa? What is the main rasa, if I ask? Then what is that?
That's
But it is not a comedy movie.
It's tragedy. It's a tragedy, right? Karuna Rasa.
Why?
For sure. No, because it's a story of tragedy with one family of Thakur and the revenge story.
No,
So the
but in
principal
the
rasa
end,
is.
it leaves you in tragedy. In the end,
Yeah, it's an end also is very tragic.
what is that?
In the end, that Kalanayaka is dead. So how can you say it is a tragedy?
Exactly.
Amitabh is also
Sholay
dead.
is Veer Ras there.
Veera, you can say. So actually, the Veera Rasa and Shungara are parallelly going.
Right.
You can say Veera is prominent or Shungara means depending on the scenes you have to analyze. Whether Veera is, you have to properly justify. So it is definitely not tragedy because end result is is achieved. So there is a triumph over the hero.
That is because see why I said tragedy, because when the Khalanayaka is definitely destroyed, he is captured by the police, but also the other Naika is single, so she is also in frustration because of one.
Yeah, but Karuna is there in the movie. I am not saying that, but it is not the Angirasa. Because at the end, it leaves you in satisfaction that, oh,
Right.
yes,
The hero wins.
Hero wins.
So from Thakur's perspective, the revenge is complete.
Yeah.
But from that Jai and Viru, from Jai's perspective, the story is incomplete. Even from
Why?
that Rama's perspective, the story is not complete.
No, they have achieved their their love affairs, etc. They have.
It's only the silent love which is expression. That's all, and nothing else. But yeah, Jai Viru's story is again complete.
Yes, that's what. Therefore, it is not tragedy.
But
And
ma'am,
Sholay
is
is the story of Thakur. He is the hero technically from the start.
And who is the hero? That technically, that also you need to decide in whose perspective you are analyzing this rasa. In which scene to scene that rasa will differ, and the main rasa is going to be something different. Okay, because there is a comedy, there is a karuna. It doesn't mean that whole film will have that same rasa.
but ma'am, is it necessary that there should be always only one rasa which is predominant?
No, no, no.
Rasas can be simultaneously equally important also, isn't it? More than one rasa.
But one will be Angirasa, mostly, if you see. There has to be one Angirasa, Pradhana Rasa. Others are supporting to that Rasa.
Then for Sholay, what is the Angirasa?
What you feel?
I was telling that Raudra.
Why Raudra? It is that all you just feel the feeling of Raudra all the time while watching the
Then
movie.
that violence is very predominantly shown. That's see, I have seen long
But
back.
that
That impression is there in my mind.
Film of Raudra Rasa. Violence is shown, but that is a part that is see what happens is one is primary rasa, other rasas are there, but they will nourish that particular rasa.
So the Angirasa for Sholay is what is it? Veera Rasa.
What you are saying, that's what I want to understand.
I'm not able to judge, ma'am. I'm not able to judge.
What others think?
I think it's Veer, heroic.
Okay.
It's very predominant from the start about beating this villain.
Veera and Shrunga. Veera is predominant actually. That movie is about that. Okay, Shrungara is supportive to that. Raudra creates background for that. Hasya adds, some relaxing moment in the movie, we can say. Some relaxing moments are necessary because you are riding on the roller coaster, na? Like Raudra is there, Veera is there, Karuna is also there. Even Karuna is creating a background for Shrungara.
Right.
Because it is the reason why, Amitabh falls in love with Jaya. So that character is shown like that. He likes such character. He is getting very much annoyed with the character of Hema Malini because she is so talkative, and keeps on, she is very much extrovert. Whereas reverse to that is Jaya's character. So all those are Uddipanas actually there for Shrungara Rasa, if you see. Means her being alone, her being very silent, etc. are Uddipana for that Shrungara Rasa. And this is all, all these rasas support the main rasa. So that should be the design. If there is no clarity in the rasa, something is missed. Why, certain movies get popular, famous, or liked by all? There is a reason in the delineation of rasa, the setting of the rasa, how they are set. So it is a proper, what we can say, serving which has the Veera Rasa, which is supported by Shrungara has to be there because Shrungara is called as Rasaraja even in the ancient this thing treatises. So Shrungara should be there. If only Veera Rasa, people may not enjoy it, and that is properly supported or background is given by Raudra. In between, that comic, the Hasya Rasa is created, and so that may be the reason of the success of that movie.
You're saying there will be only one primary rasa. So I think for Ramayana it will be Shringara, right? Because it is Rama, Sita's.
For Ramayana, it is Karuna Rasa.
And for Mahabharata?
Shanta Rasa.
Shanta
Rasa. Yes.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yes, yes.
I mean, everything gets destroyed in the end. I mean, that's how we have to
look at it. In the end, and it's not that actually. Then all depart, towards what we can say. The end is like that, no? That all departed towards that higher existence. So it is means all went to moksha like that.
But if you look at Jaya as a story, that is the crux of it. It's more bhayanak, more terrible, and
yeah, but it depends on the end result also.
Right.
End result is very much important. That's what happens in Ramayana also. Ramayana, you may feel it is just the love between Ram and Sita, but it is not that.
Right.
It has a tragic end, and that love story is actually not complete in a sense. And that is the reason why, in later time, Bhavabhuti has written the drama called Uttara Ramacharitam to give justice to Sita. So Uttar Ramacharitam becomes the story of Shrungara Rasa.
Right.
Because Ram and Sita get united there in Uttar Ramacharita, but not in Valmiki Ramayana, because you know that the Sita Tyag and Sita getting subsumed in the earth. So that is tragic. So definitely the end result matters. End is shown.
But that proves another point, because, madam, because as per Bharat Muni, no tragedies can be performed on the stage.
Correct.
So definitely Ramayana and Mahabharata are pre-Bharata Natya Shastra.
Yeah, and another thing, Ramayana and Mahabharata are not drama basically.
What I'm saying is, because
yeah, so they are itihasa. They are considered as itihasa kavya.
Yeah, itihas kavya. So
yeah, so itihasa means thus it has happened, so it is told. Okay, kavya means you create it deliberately for the sake of enjoyment of the people. So if Kalidasa is writing some kavya based on this, like anything, or Bhavabhuti is writing, or Bhasa is writing, then they have to follow those norms.
Oh, because Bhas has not followed Bharat Muni.
Because Bhasa's time period is ambiguous.
Yeah, in 2 or 3 places he has shown tragedy on the...
Correct, but Bhasa's time period is ambiguous, and again Bhasa is rebellious in nature.
Yeah.
So, there are other factors. But when it is, kavya, it can be a mixture of both. That is itihasa, history, and fiction. Means some kalpanika things are also getting added. But Ramayana and Mahabharata actual are itihasa.
But ma'am, we normally say Ramayana is Kavya and Mahabharata is Itihasa, no? Adi Kavya, huh?
Yeah. Itihasa, it is Kavya. Ramayana is Adi Kavya actually.
Mahabharata is Itihasa.
Yeah, but actually both are Itihasa. Means Ramayana is actually Itihasa Kavya only. Because their setting is like that. The understanding is like to tell the history. Both are revolving around the war which has happened. One is Rama Ravana Yuddha, and another is the war between Kauravas and Pandavas. So that was actually the central theme of both. But later on, that got expanded, and many reasons are there, because Rama Katha is more very ancient. Mahabharata incident has happened after that, but the writing period of both is very different, because Mahabharata writing completion happened first, and then writing of the Ramayana. So what happened is poetic elements in Ramayana are more prominent than the Mahabharata, whereas Mahabharata is very crude in nature, because that writing was going on, for many years, for many decades. So Valmiki's Ramayana got very much refined in sense of poetry, we can say. So such reasons are there.
Ramayana was written first. That's why it is called Adi Kavya, right?
There is a difference between Rama Katha and Ramayana. Okay. So Rama Katha happened first. Mahabharat Katha.
Valmiki only is called Adi Kavi, right? Because he has written first.
Yes. But why? Because he has structured everything in the form of it is in that chanda, Anushtup chanda, basically. He could means that shloka, first of all, he could utter, and he composed that the entire Rama Katha in the form of poetry. So that is why it is called as Adi Kavya, because that comes in the format of shloka, chanda, meters. Okay. But if you see the language of Ramayana and Mahabharata, then the language wise, the language of Mahabharata is earlier to that, and Ramayana got refined, in later period, and became more poetic. That is actually different altogether point of discussion. We are here more focused on aesthetics perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is how you can analyze. So you take example. If you want, we can first of all means certain examples will come in next lecture also while discussing theories. So that is not an issue if you get wrong also. And actually, there is nothing wrong and right also to some extent, because I want to see how you justify your point. Okay. So we will stop here, and I hope you will be trying to apply this framework.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.